Okay, welcome to Bears 1 versus Cardiff 2. This matchup is one that we saw last year as well, and Bears managed to get the donut, the 13-0. So we'll see how it pans out and which team has changed or grown the most in that year, or lost players in that year maybe, as how this game will shake up in comparison. So Will Skeldon on disc, Ivan roasting his way free on that open side to make an easy 1-0 start for Bears, which is exactly how they wanted to come out of the game. I am your commentator, Jamie Mack. I was Pubs and Comms last year, so I've been asked to help step in as I have a lot more free time now. I've graduated to do some commentary, so I thought I may as well add, given these videos have no audio recorded for whatever reason. Something bugged out when they were recorded. So you can get the original experience by pressing mute or listen to my additions. Hong, making sure the disc is in the right place after the pull hit the ceiling there. Big round from Cardiff 2. Ambitious shot, but just doesn't quite come off. I think the option was correct, actually. Just the execution hasn't come off there for them. Big force now onto Phoebe. And Luke Hayward coming in. It looked like a vertical stack there from Bears with a cut from the back and what looked like a dump in the dump space. So just a standard V stack 3-2. Banger now setting up in there 4-1. But again, cuts from the back. So maybe just a normal vertical stack without a dump. And Hong just dinking that to the ground. Probably one he could have caught, but it doesn't matter as it did result in a turnover anyway. And speaking of turnovers, there's another one. Just towards Amelia's back, that shot was, I think, a little bit. So not quite what they wanted. And just a little bit sat out in front from the guy with the tank top. Phoebe asking for sideline space. It is so annoying when people are crouching right upon the sideline. Both as a filmer and as a player. But we do get a beautiful Phoebe's eye view of that shot, which is just a lovely little low release flick right into White's hands for the score. Apologies, I don't know any of the Cardiff players' names, and I might mix up some of the Bears players' names just because, especially if people are far away, it's hard to tell because the video is quite compressed. So I do apologise if there's any mix-up, but it should be largely okay. Big pull from Trish there, lovely put, sliding out of the side of that end zone, so definitely unbreakable. But also really hard to catch because Cardiff did not have a player lined up in that corner. Nice undershot, though, to 52, but just floating over 70's head. Some of these quick catch and throws can be quite hard to execute, especially if you haven't practiced them so much or don't have the experience in a high-pressure game scenario. So they are tricky to do. But meanwhile, Bears get a lovely round across from one side of the end zone to the other for a score to make it 3-0. Jasmine with the pull now. Another nice pull. Attempted to be fielded by the guy with the tank top. Not quite caught, but doesn't matter because it's indoors. And Bears deploying a zone now. So Luke Hayward in the deep, stopping anything in the deep space. And what looks like Jasmine and Phoebe taking the mids. The Bumble Bear power combo in the middle there. Taking anything out through that centre. And this knife goes up, but Phoebe is there to stop it. So the zone's pretty much well done its work, stopping anything going forward at all. And also in this case, anything going backwards. Hong picking up now, and Phoebe with the first undercut. So nice 4-1 movement going now with loads of good continuations. Reset gone for, because Jasmine's all the way back. Cuts keep on coming from the off-screen stack. There's quite a big space in the middle. But I think it's working in Bears' favour as they do have the speed and acceleration to use it. And the little round to Hayward in the end zone for a nice easy score. So it's pretty clean point from the Bears. You're pretty confident seeing that. Unless you're Cardiff 2. Another pull-up. Looks to be taken from the back of the end zone again. Cardiff struggling for an option there. Just there's loads of people in that space. Really jammed up. And Phoebe, I think she might have got a touch on that even, but Cardiff manages to grab it anyway. It's a pretty good grab from Cardiff too there. But the Bears win the turn eventually. A big sit up and just a little bit close to the wall for Phoebe to get that. If the wall had been a bit closer from the sideline, it might have been toe winnable. But it's just tricky when that involves throwing your body into a concrete wall. Probably not something you want to do, especially when you're 4-0 up and you're one of the best players on the team. Big round there, but just pretty easily collected by Ivan. And the knife gone for, and just Skeldon looking cool as anything, picking that up. That was a lovely, lovely hammer from Trish. Hayward with a pull again. Seems to be pretty consistently doing the pulls from Bears. For Bears, I should say. Big force now. It looks like a middle force, trying to take everything out, which works with the zone. To stop anything coming down the sides, and then obviously the mids take out those middle. In the classic indoor house zone, there probably is other zones. I just know it as the zone. It's what we've trained at Bears through at least the last 5 years. And Jasmine, just bouncing out of her hand there. It was a bit of a funky angle to catch, admittedly. Probably not the one she was expecting. But with the wall there, right so close, it does limit what you can throw. So Bears will be looking to win this disc back. Big force now from YX, forcing the overhead round. But it's just not quite perfectly placed. And Jasmine gets to pick up on offense. Hayward from the front of the stack, and Jasmine's roasted up the line. Not gone for immediately, but actually is gone for eventually. It does bounce out of her hands again, though. Bears with the zone again now. Both mids really trying to stop anything down that middle channel. And Ivan hopping in there. That's a great block. And right on the edge of Cardiff's end zone, so they can just pop it in for the score to make it 6-0. Trish with the big pull here. Bears racing down the line, trying to stop any of those 3 yards coming off at all. And just trapping on the sideline, forcing these breaks, which are harder for less experienced players to do, as you're probably likely to have on Cardiff too. Really trying to abuse that experience mismatch that they have, some of these players. Speaking of experience, it's quite a varied bunch on Bears 1. We've got 2 second years, actually 3 second years in it. Amelia, Luke and Hong. Not Hong, flipping heck. Ivan. Sorry, Hong. Hong, a Beowulf, 3rd year. And is that the only Beowulf on that team? It might be, actually. I must be forgetting someone. And Skeldon representing the 4th years for the Berserkers. And then 2 Bumble Bears with Jasmine and Phoebe. We also have YX, who's a new recruit for Bears this year in his first Bear year. I can't remember what they were called, the Bear year was. It has been decided, but it escapes me now. But with Singapore World Under 24's experience, he is more than qualified. So definitely not a Frisbee beginner, even if he is a Bears fresher. As is obvious from his gameplay. Big jump from Hayward into the wall there. I think he probably did have control when his foot was down. No, I know, hasn't been called in, so he didn't think so. But it was a good effort regardless, just a little bit far out the back. It is hard to tell where the lines are on this pitch, admittedly. Especially when it's so far away. The big look gone for from Cardiff. Bears are doing a really good job of taking out these unders and forcing Cardiff to go for these long shots, where Bears are definitely favoured in the air, with so many of these players specifically being good at fielding and winning those deep 1v1s. So it's just the easiest way for you to win these puts, which is also why they're doing the zone, trying to take out as much of these sort of unders as possible, giving no yards on the reset. Jasmine now picking up, looking to make it 9-0. And hammer to the ISO, which Bears are now trying out. Or not trying out, I should say, but bringing out in this game. And a lovely sit round from Amelia to Skeldon. Skeldon scoring loads in this game. Big scorer for Bears. As he is. Big cut in from 57. Can't really see much else of what's happening downfield. The reset goes to the guy in the tank top. And another big overhead going, but it just doesn't come off. Cardiff really just not getting the completion on these long shots. Bears defense shutting them down, sort of reading exactly what they want to do and getting there before they can. Phoebe picking up now. We got a good view of the stack. Trish inching forward for the start of the 4v1 cut, so coming under and then shooting deep. Lovely up line there. Continuation, not quite coming off immediately, but Will is coming round under for that next pass. Round to Ivan and then looking for something else. It can be a bit tricky in 4v1 when it falls apart like this, or you get close to the end zone and you're not quite sure who's going when, but they managed to find enough free cutters and free players that they can make it work and bring it to 10-0. Brick there as the pull lands in the pitch, not in the end zone. There's probably some word for the body of the pitch that isn't the end zones, but I don't know it off by heart. Pick there. Looks like it's not affected play, so it hasn't been called, but Jasmine would have called a pick there if it had affected and it had been within the 3-second time limit. Ooh, and a bit of a miscommunication there. I'm not sure why Hong stopped. He did look to be free. He's now trying to poach off in the underspace to win that block back, but it just goes over his head. Cardiff 2 finding some pretty good flow here until Luke Hayward flies in with his enormous arms and blocks it off. Not long now till last possession hooter. Not that we can hear last possession hooter actually, now I mention it. So maybe it has gone already. And Jasmine looking like that's the score. 11-0 to Bears. Let's see if anyone can get this last point. Lovely undercut there from Cardiff 2 women. A nice put round, or female matching players, I should say, sorry. And that was last possession, so that is the game. Thanks for watching. 11-0 Bears against Cardiff 2. Check out the rest of the games on our YouTube. Flipping act for us, stop.